Hello, everybody. Welcome to Get Out of Rap TV. It's Tuesday, the 24th of October. How are you all? I think we've been doing this over a year now, this show. I've probably missed the birthday, but as well as streaming here, I'm also streaming here on into the team leader community. It's good to see you all. I have to thank Sabio, who are my partner for this show. If you want to partner up with me, all you need to do is just get in touch. But big thanks to Sabio. We do a lot of work together and I love it. Now, let's start with we all get to know each other in this show, don't we? We form some lovely connections. So, in terms of getting to know each other a bit better, let's say hello in the comments. And what are you scared of? Do you have any phobias? Um, Midfield general, more like left back on the bench. If anything, I'd be right back if I wasn't a midfield general. Celebratory jersey, yes. I went to the Tottenham game last night, and we're top of the league, so happy days. My throat is a bit croaky because I was singing and dancing. Um, Good morning, Mark Raymondo. Thank you. It is a celebratory one. Come on, Chris. Left back in the changing rooms. I can play with my left foot, so don't worry about it, Chris. My good friend Bud. Good morning, Chris. Morning, everyone. Morning, Martin. Hello, Spencer, mate. How are you doing? Now, thank you for noting who you are as well. I need to change your settings. Joe, it's pumpkin picking day today, is it? Oh, you know what? I could have done a bit of a theme. Um, Danny, you mean left out? No, 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 no. That's not happening, Clayton. Come on, it's good to see you, Clayton. Good morning, all. I'm dropping in from South Africa. Hi, Dave. How you doing? Back in the UK on Saturday, and open to opportunities from next week. So please do get in touch with Dave. Hope you're having a good time in South Africa. I've seen you've seen some of your LinkedIn updates. Jordan's here now. Jordan is a midfield dynamo of the team leader community. Now, Chris is setting us off. What do you have a phobia of, or what are you scared of? Chris has a fear of dolls. There's a joke in there somewhere. Do you want to elaborate, Chris? Remember, this is a PG show. Peter's here. G'day, mate. Peter's here. Um, Now, Neris, morning. Good morning. No phobias, thank goodness. Neris, the rapping queen of our industry. Hey, Steph, how you doing? Good morning. Good to see you. Hopefully, see you at an awards again with old Peter. Morning. Ugh. I am freaked out by moths and not a big fan of butterflies. There you go. Morning, Jake. How you doing? Alan's here as well. Good morning, Alan. Good to see you, mate. And Amanda. Hi, everyone. Amanda says, got to be spiders for me. Yeah, that's a big one. I'm on spider patrol in our house. If ever there's any spiders that show up, I get called. Although the girls have got better. Morning, all. Hope everyone is well. Oh, Danny Wareham, our IT support. Can you help? Because I can't see who this person is, I'm afraid. It's your settings. Um, Lewis, good morning, sir. Danny, I used to have a fear of dried meat, but now it's cured. Boom, boom. He's here all week. He's off to a flyer. Um, Hello, Ryan, mate. Good morning. Mark says, I have a phobia of bills. Pete, bills, you and Mark are together on this one. So Mark has a phobia of bills. Pete is opening my wallet down south. Well, that's why you should stay north of the wall, Pete. uh, Joylan, hello, mate. Good morning, sir. Scott, morning, all. Ex goalkeeper. Well, there you go. That says it all, Scott, doesn't it? Goalkeepers are a bit mental. Um, Kerry's here. Good morning. I hate it when I have short fingernails and paper touches the skin from the top of my fingers. No idea why. That that wins for the most specific one we've got, doesn't it? Absolutely brilliant, Kerry. Love it. Alan, spiders, absolutely terrified of the creepy eight-legged things. Now, who are you with? Who also was on spiders? Amanda was, wasn't she? So, Alan, you and Amanda, um, flying. However, if you want to sign it up, you have to get past it. That must be a tricky one, Jake. What do you do? Is it Dutch courage that helps, or you just think about it and get through it? How do you get through that? Clayton's here. Good morning. Also, like Neris, no phobias, thank goodness. Oh, Clayton, come on, mate. You could at least make one up. Hello, Vishal. How are you? Hi, Vishal. Phobia of speed bumps, but I'm slowly getting over it. I can do this all day. Yeah, please do, Danny. Phobia, the rough feeling of the underneath of pottery. Wow. Now that, along with Kerry's, is very, very specific. Um, Jake gets through his fear of flying with plenty of vodkas. I love it. Now, my one is I'm not great when I'm up high on a building. I can fly, no problem. But up high on a building is not great for me. And proper sibling love here. When my sister gets me any kind of gift, it always involves being up high. So there's a place in Wales that's got the longest zip line in Europe. She bought me that to do. I don't mind admitting I was absolutely terrified. And then she bought me like a reverse bungee where you go up high and you get the floor just disappears. So anything involving heights, my sister is trying to get me over it by buying me experiences that mean I'm up high on some kind of structure. Like I said, I don't mind flying, but put me on top of a building and I'm a bit of a mess. I think it's when I was a labourer many moons ago, I had to take the lunch to the crane driver had forgotten his lunch, and our foreman made me climb up this massive crane with a lunchbox and deliver it to the crane driver. And when I was up high, the wind was moving the crane, and I, I have nightmares about that. But my sister's trying to help me by getting me experiences that terrify me. So Lewis is with Alan and Amanda. Spiders are a no go. If we were doing a poll, spiders would be winning. Oh, Joe's like me. I have a fear of heights that's escalated over the years. We should talk about this, Joe. Um, Good morning, Stephen, mate. How you doing? It's not the height that hurts. No, it's the ground. I used to treat phobias in my clinic 20 years ago. If you are seriously struggling, do look for help as there are many therapists who can help. Wow. Morris, you are a man of many, many experiences. Um, Hello, Rachel. I hope you are well and safe. Hello. Good to see you. Um, Amanda, Zipfest. Is that what it was called, this thing in Wales where you go over like a quarry? I loved it. I must admit, I loved it. The build up, no, I did not like it. But yeah, Zipfest in Wales, excuse me, thoroughly recommend it. Phobia, Rachel's, is a very unique one. Deodorant spray. That's brilliant. That is brilliant. So we're all getting to know each other. What I would say as well is if you see in the comments somebody that you're not connected to, why not use this show to get connected and build your network? Have a look and see, am I connected to everyone here that's commenting? Oh, it's great. Amanda, it is Zipfest. Yeah, great. If you're not connected to people, why not connect? Danny says there's a stat that 73% of people are afraid of public speaking. Only 53% are afraid of death. So if you're delivering a eulogy at a funeral, 20% of the audience would rather be in the coffin than the pulpit. Oh, Danny, this is brilliant. That's brilliant. Now, Matt, clowns and a really weird fear of heights. One day I can't go up higher, then the next day I am able to go up as high as I want. It's completely irrational. Matt, I love that one. Well, I don't love it that you are um, experiencing that, but very, very interesting. Now, Dave, good to see you, Dave. It's been a long time. Dave is always insightful. Branston pickle is a phobia for me. Cannot be anywhere near it. I'm the same with tuna, and also beetroot makes me kind of. Ugh. Um, this is getting very Alan Partridge. North Norfolk matters. Right, let's move it on. So, you, I'm sure, like me, have seen that the Institute of Customer Service and a few other reports are saying that customer satisfaction scores are their lowest they've been. One report says 8 years. I've seen another that says 15 years. Please do correct me if I'm wrong. But what, in your opinion, is the cause of customer satisfaction scores being at an 8 year low? We know, don't we, that within all of our centres and all of the people we know are absolutely busting a gut to try and deliver a great customer experience. Why isn't this being reflected when people are being asked? And let's not forget, we are customers too, right? What do you think from a professional point of view, but also from a consumer's point of view? Oh, Stephanie, you know what? My sister's with you on this one. Birds living on the coast is tricky sometimes with all the seagulls. Um, Lucky you as well, though. You live in a lovely part of the world, but I can imagine that's tricky. Fear of crossing the Queen Elizabeth Bridge over the Thames. It's not the height. I just can't stand Dartford. I love it, Dave. Okay, so now bringing us to CS and CX, all things CS and CX. Why do you think, in your opinion, what is the cause of customer satisfaction scores being at an 8 year, or if you, dependent on which report you've read, a 15-year low? Um, is it things outside of our control and just the general mood of the country and everything that's going on? What is it? Okay, Danny. No, sorry, Chris Pud. The mayor of his town is kicking us off. Customer expectations have changed, so expect more, and customer service providers are struggling to keep pace with a change in human behavior. And I guess, Chris, with your position at the forum, that's probably something you see quite often, isn't it? Hey, G, hello. Sorry, I'm just saying hello to people in the community. Susan is here as well. Hello. Oh, triphobia, irregular patterns. Wow. Peas and sweet. Okay, Louise is also saying generational expectations. So, Chris, kind of agreeing with you. Danny says, I think it's a negative feedback loop. We get beige experience as customers of a restaurant, for example, which influences the expectation of good service downwards, which we then pass on to our customers, and the cycle continues. There's a general beiging of service across most sectors. That is a fascinating point, Danny. Rachel is saying culture. Um, Phil, hi Phil, hello mate. Changing customer expectations. So you would believe, you would sorry agree with Chris, certainly, and Rachel. Joe, interesting. Homeworking. So you think homeworking is the cause? Wow, that is interesting. Vishal says unsettled things around war, inflation, etc. So yes, exactly. The society that we live in, right, Vishal, would be for you. More digital channels, says Phil. Yeah, of course, that can make that complexity difficult, can't it? Um, Spencer. So fear of getting back into the elevator after passing out for 1 hour inside a building at Canary Wharf that did not provide communication support for the deaf. Now, Spencer has been sharing some great stuff on LinkedIn about provision for the deaf. So I definitely do connect with Spencer. Um, Neris, expectations have risen and service simply doesn't meet those expectations, mainly because businesses have made things too complex by throwing channels at customers like spaghetti at a wall. So there's some themes coming through, isn't there? The expectations increasing, digital channels and complexity increasing. And the two things are leading to this. Now, Raimondo, society is sick, infrastructure is underinvested, we're fed up with the weather, the news is depressing. All these go to the mood of the population, so we collectively have less empathy and patience. People need some light relief, a bit of real world reality check that there are things to be grateful for and maybe a bit of self discipline. Um, Raimondo, brilliant. That is. Maybe you should run for public office, I think. That could be your ticket. There are several contact center specialists here. What do they say? I think, Rachel, they are chipping in now, aren't they? Uh, Mark, it's difficult times for customers and businesses alike. Customers expect more flexibility where companies are being quite rigid. Customers expect so much more nowadays. Um, Now, do we think, yeah, that these well, doesn't really matter what we think, does it? I was going to say, do we think these expectations are fair? What is it based on? Why have expectations gone up? Is it to Danny's point? Um, Pete says, all of our efforts to measure and manage by the numbers, we've forgotten about people being humans. Wow. We need to be building culture, giving space for grace, supporting with tools and training that actually helps our agents and in turn positively impacts our customers. Pete, you are such a wordsmith. You have a lovely way with words. I really like that. Giving space for grace. Love it. Um, Homeworking is possibly a good one, actually. So Phil is agreeing with Joe. Sorry, I'm way behind. Our business culture has lost its moral center, and our customers know it, and perspectives change. Moral center. Morris, I would love to have you elaborate on that. Um, that looks great. Did someone say culture? B signal appears in the sky. Yes, if you wanna talk culture, then Danny is your man. As well as stand-up comedy, he is a culture expert. As I've said for years, service doesn't have to be excellent. It just needs not to be crap. Oh, brilliant. Yes, Spencer, we know. I've got you. I've got you, mate. Agents could be distracted at home. Okay. Um, Great. Rachel needs to talk to Spencer. That is great. Okay. Lewis says AI and social media are becoming more common in contact centers, but there is still a huge requirement from customers to speak to people over the phone. And we've seen that, haven't we, in the stats that we've been looking at? I've seen many businesses running before they can walk and look to implement AI when their telephony contact centers aren't quite there yet. Well, I'm sure Neris can talk about that as well, Lewis. I think she's probably seen it loads, but you make a really good point. Now, crap is consistently inconsistent, repetitive, apathetic, painful. Consistently inconsistent, repetitive, apathetic, painful. I love it, Neris. Customers' experiences decline due to lack of focus on the service the customer receives, and increased focus on cost-saving opportunities for the organization. And Stephen, we're seeing that in some of these call-outs, aren't we? So, very good point. Jake says AI, when not practiced correctly, has impacted my own personal experience journey. Um, Jake, I can concur with that, definitely. It's like another hurdle sometimes. Think about the time frame. More people expect more positive outcomes in a shorter time. Expectation levels increase naturally. What was good yesterday is not good today. Really interesting, Alan. Um, Kerry says, I get the most frustrated being stuck in chatbot loops. So you would agree with Jake. So implementation of tech done poorly, yes. Misunderstanding customer expectations, lack of employee engagement and training mixed in with a lack of empathy. A great point, Amanda. Um, us misunderstanding their expectations. It's not the tools, it's how we use them. And expectations have been changing for the whole of human industry. I wonder, with this discrepancy between expectations and customer service delivery, at what point we will start to reduce that delta. Um, David says it feels like a lot of businesses want that old legendary, sorry, easy for you to say, Zappos service with three agents working 12-hour shifts on a minimum wage. Very true. Now, Steph says people are time poor. As a customer, I don't always need excellence. Simplicity and ease is usually enough. Get the basics right, and I'm happy. I am 100% with you, Stephanie. I don't need bells and whistles. I just need it done quickly and efficiently and simply. So I love that. Um, Chris says placing processes over people. Best intentions to provide great customer experiences, but are those creating those how often are those creating those processes actually talking to customers? Chris, it's a really good point. Is the customer in the room when we are designing processes? I think not all the time, given what some processes are like. So what a great point. Agree with Neris, says Dave. Businesses are focused on deflection and forcing customers to the channels the business likes, then pretending it's about providing channel choice for the customer. Sorry, too much singing at Tottenham last night. Rachel, see, Danny, Rachel finds you funny. Um, Having the right resource plan, says Joe. Shrinkage expectations, training, and of course, good recruitment partners like Joe. Good point. um, Customer service needs more disability awareness training, says Spencer. Talk to me, and I'm more than happy to support you guys. Good. That's good to hear, Spencer. Um, in the words of Peter Manion, this is the trouble with the public. They're bleeping horrible. And we, of course, are the public. So, um, yes, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So, um, it's interesting, isn't it? I think there's definitely some themes coming through there. Danny will be pleased to know culture's definitely one. Expectations, but technology being applied and multiple channels and chatbots and expectations, I think, being the biggest one. We've got to raise our game, it would seem. And I love Steph's point around just keeping it simple and efficient. Surely that's what we all want. Now, this theme will come up some more when we continue our read along. But I just want to draw your attention to, we're very lucky in the um, okay, hold on 1 second. Stephen says customer experience leaders are not always experienced in customer service. And that reminds me, Stephen, of something we looked at the other day, wasn't it? In terms of who is responsible for customer experience delivery within the contact center or the strategy. And it's quite confused. Danny says culture will be a part, but it can also be a whipping boy when some basics aren't right. Processes, tech, products, etc. Fascinating stuff. Fascinating stuff. Now, guys, I'm streaming this in the team leader community. Hello, everybody. And we're very lucky. I don't think she's here today, but we're very lucky to be joined by um, Erica Farmer doing a masterclass. Danny's done one. Chris has done one. We're doing some masterclasses in the team leader community every couple of weeks. And Erica, who is a LinkedIn learner and a TEDx speaker, is coming into the community and is going to talk AI for the average Joe. This is Quantum Rise, have this on their YouTube channel. Erica's brilliant, and we're very, very lucky to have her. Danny is already booked on to listen, which is great. Now, if you'd like to join the team leader community, please just let me know. It's open to all. Obviously, it's predominantly team leaders within the contact center world, but maybe you are looking at some of the stuff we have in the community and thinking you want to join, then please do just let me know. Stephen Morris, customer experience leaders are mostly not experienced in customer experience. Oh, so true. So thank you, Erica, for giving up your time and coming in and delivering a masterclass. We're all really looking forward to that. Um, as well as looking forward to that, I'm also looking forward to the expo. I don't know if I've mentioned I'm talking at it, hosting a panel, and believe it or not, even though Get Out of Rap isn't a year old, I've managed to wangle a stand there. So I thought I would try and do what I imagine was the reaction from some of the vendors to my appearance at the expo. I'm just going to remove myself for a very quick video.
Hey guys, you ready to let the dogs out?
What? Do what?
Let the dogs out. You know, like, who let the dogs out? Who brought this guy along?
So I will be at the expo. And as I've pre warned you, I just want to manage expectations from a customer service and experience point of view. If you expect all singing, all dancing stand, lower those expectations, please. We've talked about expectations. There will be a chair, a table, some podcast equipment, and there will be hoodies. So if you would like a hoodie, come along to the expo. Our stand is CCP52. I will be joined by people from the community. Bev Hughes is going to be prominent amongst those on the stand. So please do come over and say hello. You can get a hoodie and other merchandise, or you can order it beforehand if you are not going to the expo on the 29th and 30th of November. I will also have some captain's chairs, I think, as well, because whenever you're at the expo, you never really get to, you never want to sit down. You can't sit down anywhere, can you? You couldn't, of course, come and sit down at my talk, which is day one, 11:45 in the Keynote Theatre. Please do come along. And of course, if you want to grab a hoodie, there will be giveaways as well. I've spent some money. Okay, it's not a man bag, it's a satchel. Indiana Jones has one. Yeah, great line. A great line. Who let the dogs out? Do not forget some sweets. I will have things like that, Mark. So I hope you can come along and say hello. Um, it's a Get Out of Rap team leader community stand. We will. I'm singing, he's dancing. So what isn't to like about that? I want one of your amazing red sweaters. By the way, I noticed at the back of your seat, what happened to Mike Tyson's tiger? Yeah. Well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Coys. Are you a Tottenham fan, Spencer? I didn't think I could like you anymore, but that'd be great if you are. Okay, so it's the bit you've all been waiting for. We're gonna carry on with. This is Contact Babel's CX Decision Makers Guide. If you remember, they surveyed 209, I think, CX leaders with a detailed questionnaire, and then asked 1,000 consumers their opinion. We are at page 40 for those of you that are following this avidly. I want to go back a couple of pages though, because I missed this, which is current inbound interactions by channel. I doubt this will be a surprise, and I'm sure we've referred to this before, but it's the context by which we can review the other slides. So when people ask you about the state of our channel usage in our industry, you now have some actual stats, some up-to-date stats that show from talking to a live agent still accounts for 63.6% of inbound interactions. The next highest is email. closely followed by, well, not closely followed, but email still takes up a high percentage, doesn't it? Then web chat, then you have social media, SMS, WhatsApp, and I imagined, am I right in thinking that most people are predicting that WhatsApp is going to increase? If we were to look at this next year, you'd think it would be higher than 1.9%. But as Alan says, people like talking. Generationally, doesn't seem to be. Oh, you can imagine. I guess we've looked at this before, haven't we? That there's a slight difference. That the younger generation talk less on the phone. However, that is still significantly high. Marianne, the Welsh legend. Morning, everyone. Sorry, rather late today. Been in a meeting since 9. No, it's good to have you, Marianne. And yes, Rachel, this is for the UK. Um, Contact Babel do have other geographical the same reports for definitely the US, but I also think other locations as well. Oh, Orok is here. Good morning to all. Orok, it's good to see you, buddy. So yes, Rachel, this is for the UK. And however you look at that, it's kind of not really changed. I can remember looking a few years ago when we were at 70% for the telephone. Um, it's dropping, but it's still by far the most significant channel. Um, I think I fall within the younger bracket. I much prefer digital channels whilst on the move throughout the day. I'm with you, Jake. I think even though it is called a mobile phone, I'm always surprised when the phone rings. It worries me. Maybe going back to our phobias, talking on the phone might be one. Not a fan. So yes, interesting. I just wanted to set us off with some context. Now, the very next one is, how well does your organization currently support your CX programs? And by that, they mean CX technology. And the distinctions made here are on contact center size. So, starting on the left, if your contact center has fewer than 50 seats, the 31% of respondents said their organization is poor when it comes to supporting your CX program. Now, sorry, let me just catch up. Danny says, if I have time to spare, I don't mind using async channels. But if I need something quick, telephone is always the choice. Interesting, Danny. I thought phone channel was down to 40% in the UK. In the US, it's 70. No, I think Rachel, it's as you saw that one. Let me just go back quickly. 63.6, and I think that is similar to the percentage that I've shown before from the Decision Makers Guide, which is a larger sample size, is still around just under 65-70%. Luke is here. Hello, Luke. We've exchanged talking on the phone with talking in Teams and Zoom. Very true. So let's look at this. There is a big discrepancy, isn't there, between the big contact centers, so those that have more than 1,000 seats. 38% said they have their organization supports them in an excellent way in terms of supporting the CX program, CX technology, with only 13% saying it's poor. Whereas if you're in a small contact center, only 6% say excellent, 31% say poor, another 31% say average. So not a great situation there in terms of um, relaying how supported you are. It does note, of course, CX technology. So to what extent is CX technology being used to support your CX program? A big discrepancy there between the size of the contact center. And you would have thought, I guess, with technology being more accessible than it has been, that wouldn't be such a stark difference with cloud-based technology being open to smaller contact centers. Alan says, the investment in a large contact center is surely based around efficiency, and as such, the larger businesses have a vested interest. Yes, Alan, I would agree. Now, here's a good one for all of you involved in technology and the current positions that maybe potential clients have. To what extent is legacy technology holding back customer experience? Again, the split here is by contact center size. So, the technology that's already in place, is it in the red a major problem, in the yellow a minor problem, or in the green no problem? It's no problem at all. Um, so you can see the average here. 45% of the respondents said legacy technology is holding back customer experience. It's a major problem. 37% said it's a minor problem, and only 17% said no problem at all. We love it. Um, Danny says in smaller orgs, people wear more hats. There's less likely to be someone specifically responsible for CX and tech. Very true. Does CX technology deliver a better service to the customer? Stephen, great point. And maybe it relates back to the question of the day around customer satisfaction scores being low. Um, Rachel says, I always say bots are to be built by humans and always finish it off to calling the client and being clear when telephony agents are online or can leave a message to call and track it. Um, uh, Bev says, I love the way that the word legacy almost excuses it. Legacy was cutting edge once. Yes, it was once the best thing ever, big investment. Now it is, oh, if only we didn't have our legacy technology, we'd be delivering excellent customer experience. Um, Neris, tech debt. Oh, that's a lovely phrase. Tech debt and confirmation bias. This is the way we do things, is, in my experience, a major problem. Rewrite the script and enhance the technology to deliver your clear vision. What a great Bev and Neris, you've just come up with two lovely uh, appraisals of this slide. I love it. So there you have it, legacy technology. Now, moving on, here's another nice, interesting one for you. To what extent is the lack of a single view of the customer across channels holding back customer experience? Do you remember when we were talking at the outset of the show and different channels and the complexity and the difference between them was one of the reasons that you guys thought was responsible for low scores? This would seem to validate that. So, to what extent is the lack of a single view of the customer across channels holding back customer experience by contact center size? And look at the average. So, 43% said this lack of a single view of the customer is a major problem. 41% said it's a minor problem. 16% said no problem. I wonder if that 16% is the same 16% from the other one. Just like anything, nothing's a problem. I kind of like that. Stephen says spot on Neris. Danny says Neris Caulfields. I'd add loss aversion bias too. Once we've made a decision, we're more likely to stick with it, even when it turns out to be the wrong decision. Yep, I've made my bed, so I'm going to lie in it. I didn't know that was called loss aversion bias. Thanks to you guys, every day is a school day when I do this. Who is saying it's no problem, says Neris. It is the problem. This is basically all my Expo keynote, which I am looking forward to, Neris. Should we try and find this 16%? Because they I don't know. Well, there's another slide coming that's similar. So let's see. Yes to Danny. Sorry, my comment's not working. Okay, Bev. Oh, this made me laugh. Who is saying it's no problem? It is the problem. This is basically all my Expo keynote. Oh, great. Okay, so is that 16% no problem group here on this one, which is To what extent is the lack of sufficient IT resources or budget holding back customer experience? Um, Here's the average: 19% no problem. The no problem gang has increased. 40% say it's a minor problem. 42% say it's a major problem. But I'm sure you're drawn to the more than 1,000 seats. So the respondents who have contact centers with more than 1,000 seats, to what extent is lack of sufficient IT resources or budget holding back customer experience? 45% said no problem. We have got an absolutely huge IT team and a massive budget for technology. I have to say, for some of the bigger organizations I've worked in, um, they did have big IT teams, bigger than most other teams, maybe apart from HR. There's something in that, I'm sure. Um, Alan, 19%, the Make, Do, and Mend Brigade. Yeah. Rachel's not convinced, look. Um, Proficient or sufficient? Oh, Luke, very astute. Very astute. These are thought provoking, aren't they? These slides, these stats. 45% of the larger organizations say this is no problem. Uh, it's flipped round. If you are in a small contact center, lack of sufficient IT and budget for 52% is a major problem. Um, and I'm not sure what the solution is there. Maybe training, um, services catered for small contact centers. Luke Dobson for the win. Yeah, I mean, this is a great one, Luke. You've just bowled an unplayable delivery there from the Australian fast bowler. Um, so one more. We've got one more slide, okay? And this is uh, what effect does technology have on your customers' experience? Nice one to end on. So green, strongly positive; light green, somewhat positive; uh, yellow is neutral; pink, somewhat negative; strongly negative. Um, that only makes an appearance on touch tone and speech recognition. For the majority, so live web chat, i.e., not chatbots, is the one that gets the most positive feedback, followed by interaction analytics, web self service, AI, including chatbots, omni channel customer interaction hub. Uh, we should play bingo one day with some of these phrases. Unified agent desktop, speech recognition. Um, I need to get some of you guys on one call and talk about all the solutions you'd like to see, change, fix. Well, this is the place to network, Rachel, and gain new connections and then go off and prosper. What do we think of this? It's the last slide of the show today. Um, there's been some really interesting ones. Is there anything in this that surprises you? Um, Interaction analytics, I get it completely. I think there's a lot that you can do if you have people that can turn that insight and the data into something actionable. Are you surprised by live web chat being what is deemed to be having the most positive effect on customer experience? Does that ring true for you? Web self service gets a good response as well, doesn't it? AI probably lower than you'd expect, I guess. Interesting. So, as always, everybody, thank you all so much for your insight and your, as I said earlier, every day is a school day when you guys are about. Um, I've loved it today, as always. And thank you to everyone in the community that's joined and commented. I will get back to your comments. Hold on before I go. Maybe it is IT understanding that they are a support function and there to facilitate what is happening, says Marianne, within the company and especially the front line. Instead of perceiving at times that they lead the company, I saw in one company that IT locked their door to their department and you had to know the door to let you in. Knock the door, I guess. Great engagement, don't you think? Wow. Marianne, lovely comment. Would love to see compared with voice. Yes. Maybe that will be coming up. I don't know. I haven't looked that far ahead. Maybe that's next week, Bev. So, everybody, thank you all for your time. It's been great comments. I do hope you gain and build your network from this and it is added to your day, maybe giving you some stats and some food for thought. I have had a great time. I hope you have too. And I will see you all next Tuesday.